Testing, hot outbound count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you ready?
I'm all ready.
You on here? Come on, let's go inside and get started. Dusty out in that hall?
Hey, get a load of butts over there.
Oh, would I like to melt you just once. Dusty out in that hall? What's my temperature, Norton? 111. Oh, come on, let's get moving. Isn't there any lot here?
Yeah, about 300 pounds.
A 20% percentage.
And now, who is our next guest, please? Herb, here's our next guest.
Ed Norton.
Ha, ha! Watch this.
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
If they ever institute a Nut of the Month Club, I've got a very good idea who's going to be January and February.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you hurricanes, Bensonhurst bombers, and all you brother Drebbins of the world? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fatts.
Oh, the papers. That's just a lot of publicity. All that to do about chills and suspense and that nonsense about don't tell your friends the surprise ending. Well, it was no surprise to Mrs. Finley. She said she knew all the time that it wasn't the uncle who committed the murder. It was the husband. Not Mr. Marshall, but not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. You
Ran out of
always
mark.
throw because I never know what you're going to do.
I know. I don't
So
tell
it always
John.
gives me a chuckle. It gives your spontaneity, of course. So the only podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street or 728 Chauncey Street in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, also known as Clifton, New Jersey. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review, and we will read them. Our home base is non-productive.com/honeymooners. So you can get all of your episodes from episode 0 to episode 112 right on there. And like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook page, follow us on Twitter at Honeymooner1. And if you want to leave a voicemail, call 240-442-2635. And
Trixie the maid will be there.
yes, yes. And if you want to email us, it's honeymoonerspodcast@AOL.com.
Aren't they ancient?
We
Yes, we are.
And then if you want, you could support us on Patreon if you go to the Non-Productive R website, and you could support us. And what's happening, Lou?
Joe, 112.
Yes.
We're going to call it 112, not 111 plus 1.
Yeah.
I think we use that enough.
I think we wore out our welcome. I think we wore out our welcome with the 111.
Not a bad episode. I thought we did. That was a good one.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, the feedback from that was tremendous, and I think it was because this is me and you and all of us all on the same page with that. There isn't one person that we're like, 111 is overrated. No. That is it's the quintessential number.
It's the number.
It absolutely
is.
is
The number.
And so, what do we want to get started with? Before we get started, we want to talk about Silk City Hot Sauce.
Yes.
All right? SilkCityHotSauce.com. Go to get yourself some phenomenal hot sauce. It's our pal, the great Kingfish Levinsky. So what you do is you go to SilkCityHotSauce.com, right? First of all, you can get so many different great hot sauces like Dragon Slayer, Jezebel. I like Slurp. You love Aztec Attacks. And then, of course, there's the great one. See what I did there?
Yeah.
The Honey Habanero Hot Sauce. If you don't know what that is, go to SilkCityHotSauce.com. It is our hot sauce, basically.
And the bottle's
tremendous.
Phenomenal.
It's just great.
That little caricature of Ralph and Ed.
it's
Chef of the future.
It's the
Chef
best.
of the past.
It's the best. And, I mean, if you don't think it's good, I mean, just ask anybody.
It's the most delicious you've ever tasted in your life.
There you go. That was testimony right there.
It's great, especially when it came to ours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It really is good.
Yeah. Oh,
it really
it's
is
excellent.
good. It really is just.
This is just delicious.
It's really just. So what you do is go to SoakCityHotSauce.com, purchase some phenomenal hot sauce, right? Get yourself a whole lot of hot sauces. And then when you go to the checkout, there'll be a big thing right in the center where you could put a code.
Mm-hmm.
It's their discount code.
Right.
And what you do is you put these 2 letters in it, and it's called
RX.
RX in the coupon code.
There you go.
And you'll get yourself a 15% percentage off of your order, and you'll get a free bottle of...
Cherry Sriracha.
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
So stupid. I think he's gonna even make cherry sriracha anymore.
he doesn't even have any cherry sriracha left. I think he lost the recipe in the pandemic. He doesn't even have it anymore. So don't bother. But you will get the 15% percentage
yes.
off of
That
your
you will.
order.
Oh,
So,
and you could even call the Kingfish. He's great. My friend Tony called him.
your friend Tony?
My friend Tony.
Tony Powell?
Yeah, Tony.
Yes, he did
My
call
friend
him.
Tony. Not my friend Mr. Amico.
No.
My friend Tony. He called.
Right.
He called. Spoke to the Kingfish. Great guy.
Yeah, he really is.
Great guy.
Jeff
Put
is
together a
really
nice
good
little
dude.
package for him.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yep.
So you can, and I think there's a phone number when you go to the website.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you got it off the website.
SilkCityHotSauce.com. Okay. And we actually have another sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
A brand new sponsor, everybody. I'm not sure if I know this person, but it is if you're looking to go and travel, whether you want to point your car to Mexico. Maybe go into Africa.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Norfolk, Virginia. All these exotic places around the world. North Dakota.
Or if you're looking to go on vacation at Fred's Landing. Obviously. What you do is you go to Keys to the Caribbean Travel. Keys to the Caribbean or Caribbean. Or as Billy Ocean says, Caribbean.
Yeah.
It's keys to the CaribbeanTravel.com. And I know this travel agent very well.
Yes.
And she made me do this. No, I'm just kidding. This is my wife. Beverly.
Yeah.
Your wife. Your wife did all. Look at his card. She made this card.
I already thought a professional printer made that card.
Actually, it was a professional printer.
Well, anyway.
So what you do is, if you want somebody to help you make all the arrangements for all your travel, and the best part about this, which I didn't know until she got into this business, it won't cost you $1. Not $1.
No commission.
No commission. She does not. It's not. That's not how it works.
Just be the cost of the travel. That's it.
That's it.
No
Yep.
commission.
She
added on
gets
top.
you all of the deals, and then they make their money from the places. They throw them a little kickback.
Right.
But no charge to you if you want somebody to help make all of the travel, all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Does all of it.
All around. All over. Now, I got to tell you, we're working on a commercial for this.
Yeah, we're going to get this. We're going to.
It's going to be Silk City-like.
It'll be like Silk City. We're
And-
going to have
and like-
all the different clips.
Little clips coming in.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
gonna, like Joe said, it's going to take us 15 minutes before we get into our show. From
Right.
now on.
You know,
We'd have-
if you want to go tiger hunting with Ali
Khan,
Khan,
you could do that too.
We're going to do all of this. It's going to be fun. But go to Keys to the CaribbeanTravel.com, or if you're on Facebook, you can just find Keys to the Caribbean on Facebook. And that's my wife, Beverly. And, go. You can talk to her, and she will hook you up. So, let's get started. Let's get this thing. Let's get started.
Even without Jane Russell, let's get started.
Let's get started here. And
Jane Russell.
what we got to do is, before we get started, we want to mention our full-grown nut from last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and that was Rich Arsenal. Or Arsenal. And he sent a nice thing for us. He said, "We truly do live in a participation trophy era. Thank you very, very much for obviously at complete random, selecting me for this prestigious honor. Now, excuse me while I run downstairs to show this to my wife, who will immediately run out and get me an Admiral Dewey sports jacket. But he said, on a serious note, I absolutely love the show. I grew up in Troy, which is close to both Utica and Schenectady.
Yep.
My mother and I would watch the original 39 on NYC Cable, Channel 11, he believes. In the 70s, living in the Chicago area since 1991, I miss everything about the New York area, especially the rapid-fire, wise guy attitude, and the banter that used to do so well. Oh, that's a nice thing to say. I listen to anything you guys do. My most sincere appreciation. By the way, New York City pizza is way better than Chicago.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, but yes, that is our full-grown nut of last week. Our pal Rich Arsenal. And we're going to get going with our new one.
Yeah.
And you guys know what's next.
It's so stupid. If we thought we're
Verily, the Honeymooners podcast knights the full-grown nut of the week. Aren't you lucky?
Oh, the great voice of David.
The great David.
Oh, my God, what a voice.
You notice how his voice fills the room?
It gives me
it got crowded. No, it
real
was-
pleasure to present to you this award.
I'm stepping on Judge Hurdle. Jared Dwyer.
Yes.
All right.
Our new full-grown nut, JD. That's right. Jared has, you know what? He's sneakily become very, very instrumental on Facebook and emails, where I would see him every once in a while, and then it would be so good, his comments, like most of you guys. You guys are so funny and clever on Facebook. And every once in a while, he put out something, and I'm like, this guy's going places.
He's going places.
And
as long as he's going places, we can take the garbage out, too.
I got to tell you, the last thing he put up there, you know what it did? It
Brings a tear to my eye and a lump to my throat.
And I was like, Louis, should we have him or should it be?
Could it be me?
He was like, no, you can't be full-grown nut of the week. You're one of the But Jared, I believe he is.
Am I worthy of such an honor?
He really
is.
is.
With honor. Yes, he is.
And we always know why.
He always looked like some kind of nut to me.
And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
When we present it to the board of nuts, that's all they got to say.
And
He
we're-
looked like some kind of nut to me.
We're up to like 30-something.
Wow.
You know what they say about that room?
There's a lot of full-grown nuts around this house.
Yeah, see that? It's getting crowded.
It's getting crowded. But welcome to the fraternity, my friend.
Yes.
And a well-deserved, obviously. Jared Dwyer, part of the full-grown nut fraternity, and, of course, many of you who are also in the fraternity and the soon-to-be fraternity members.
That's right.
You're just waiting in line.
You're waiting in line. That's all
Just
it is.
waiting in line. That's all. You know?
You're just a few emails away. So get
One
them out there and make them good.
Exactly. And because one day you'll hear this.
Is this the man who gets the award?
Oh my God. Okay. So, again, Jared Dwyer, full-grown nut
of the week.
from episode 112. So, we're going to get into some it's been a fun bit. I've been really having fun doing this, and I wanted to oops, I messed up. I apologize.
The first time that's happened in
Yeah,
112
I can't-
episodes.
yeah. And where is it? I can't believe I can't. There it is.
there
Got
we
it.
go.
Okay.
Well said.
We had fun with this, I think, last episode.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're going to have a little more fun with it again.
It's a tough one. Liz.
There it is.
The Honeymooners podcast presents
Strange sound. Foreign sound.
What's That Sound?
Sounded like feeding time at the zoo.
Sure did. All right. So, you guys know what this is.
Great swing.
This is, it is so, it's one of my favorites. It really is one of my favorites.
Great swing in Swanee
It
River.
really is. It's one of my favorites. So, this is where I do my trivia with Lou, but it's with a sound.
Yeah.
And it's a sound from one of the episodes from the 39. And This one, I think it's good because it's tough, but it's definitely, if you get it right away, wouldn't shock me.
Okay.
But if you're a little, it wouldn't shock me either.
Okay, either way, it's not going to
All right.
shock you. So he won't be shocked at the end of the day.
Yeah, I won't be shocked at the end of the day. Here we go. Very quick. 2 seconds. And go.
Okay. Is that the tongue turning blue?
No.
Ooh, wow. See, it's bad when you think of one now.
Right. That's
now
a
my
that's a
mind-
good guess, but that is not it. You want to hear it again?
Yeah, play that again.
Everybody out there,
Is he-
if you're thinking,
Am I picturing him, Joe, doing?
I will give you one hint, and it might give it away, but it's a vague enough hint that it might not give it away. He's not in the room when he says this. He is in the bedroom.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm going to play it again for the lunatics listening.
Oh God.
Here we go. It's funny because it sounds like he's right in the room, doesn't he? That's how loud
he is. Yeah. And he's okay. I'm picturing this. What's going on? Does he come running back in?
Yep. I'll give you another hint.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
You always. That's one. Your mother. Is that it? Your mother?
No.
Oh, jeez.
I'll give you a hint. Your first guess about the blue tongue was close.
I don't want to take up too much time here. What is it? I don't want to take up time.
I'll play the full thing.
Okay.
Here we go.
I guess there's people out
I
there.
don't know what it is to think that you're going to die in 6 months.
Oh.
I'm going to live. Alice, we're going to celebrate. We're going to every Chinese restaurant in town. I want you to know that money is no object. You know the $5,000 I got for the story? We're going to spend
There it is.
every
There it
second
is.
celebrating. I'll be right out.
The money comes out.
Ralph!
Okay,
There it is,
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
Ralph?
The
$5,000.
$5,000 I got for
Yep.
the story.
Because the blue tongue, that was in the same episode.
Yeah.
Right. That's why that was close, because you were in the right episode.
Right.
Your first instinct was the episode. You just didn't have the right
Like I
moment.
said too, it's when you guess wrong first, your memory bank is it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's empty. It's empty.
It
just throws you right off.
Because that was you're putting that all
that whole effort into the
your
and thinking
brain
you
is
got it,
Nebraska.
and I'm thinking I got this, and I don't have it.
But I thought it's a good
That's
one,
a
right?
great one.
Okay,
Oh God,
good,
no,
good.
these are great.
All right,
that last one was super hard.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Right.
That was like the last trivia question too, with the guy that gave you a lift home. Clement. Everybody's like Clement.
There was one of the full-grown nuts. Only one knew Clement.
One knew Clement?
Yeah,
Okay.
Only one. There was just one guy who knew Clement. That was it.
Woo.
What a great one.
Oh, that was a
For
good.
sure.
That was a good. What's that sound? Excellent. What's
All
that
right,
sound?
cool. All right, so now
I didn't get it, but it was excellent. It was very, very hard. I couldn't get it.
if somebody would give you $16,000, maybe
I
you
would've
would have
got it.
for sure. Now this is something that it's sort of an idea that I had, and now we fused it with something that Louis was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about how many French references there are in the original 39.
Yeah.
There's
And
a couple.
you're right. And I was thinking of how many Shakespeare references there are.
And this is mostly from Ed.
All from Ed.
The Shakespeare's all from Ed.
All Ed.
And all the French stuff is all coming from Ed. Right? Like, doesn't speak French.
Right. Well, we'll go through it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were like tying it together to say, you know what? There's a lot of this French stuff and Shakespeare
Shakespearean stuff. Like
all coming out of
Ed.
this sewer worker.
Yeah. This dolt.
This sewer worker who was obviously more cultured than we ever would have known.
Exactly.
Ever would have known.
Well, Joe, you always say he's the most rational person at times.
Absolutely.
We always think we always give that praise to Alice.
But when she's not there,
Ed is
he becomes the voice of reason.
Yes, voice of reason. It's like unbelievable.
That's like if I'm the voice of reason in my house, then you know the house is about to burn down. It's just going to burn down. So, so now we just right before the show, tried to think of a couple
Yeah.
of things. So we might not have all of them.
Right, so-
and we have no problem with you guys.
chiming in.
Chime in.
No, because I had this written down, my French stuff, and I didn't bring it with me.
Okay.
Because I forgot where I put it because we haven't been on the air for a couple of weeks.
Right.
So I'm trying to think it on the top of my head. So of course I'm going to leave out something.
Of course.
Because the top of my head's not level. So it's not like
the
the
pool
table.
table.
Yeah, it's like level.
Hope
Throw
it don't throw my game off. So we'll start with the French stuff.
Start with the French stuff.
Obviously, doesn't speak French. Can't speak French.
Can't speak French.
Hilarious punchline, by the way, in the scenario that it was. But it wasn't Italian.
No, Joe, you said to me when you were talking about discussing we were putting this together, and you said like, why French?
Why French?
Why French? And I think I guess at the time the French was like that, still had that little uppity air to it.
Right.
Snooty.
They were
yeah,
snooty.
always snooty Frenchmen.
Right. Yeah.
Everything
yeah.
French was like over the top.
Yeah.
and,
the people
elegant and
Yeah. The thing was that nobody likes the French, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just, I think it's funny because, listen, I know a lot of people speak Spanish. I know a lot of people speak Italian. How many people do you know who speak French? Nobody. It's weird.
Oh, I think I know one.
You know one?
Nelson at work.
Nelson's
French. From the islands, the French-speaking islands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you just ruined the whole thing.
No, doing the whole bit.
Thanks,
Okay,
Lord.
everybody. Just trivia questions prepared by Professor Wilson. No.
But think about it. We have to go with somebody who isn't even from France.
Yeah. No,
He's
not
from
a French-speaking island.
island. Yeah.
Like Martinique or something like that.
So maybe that's why it just, and when you think about it, what would be funnier than saying, doesn't speak French? I can't picture what would be funnier. Doesn't speak, what, Russian? No,
not funny.
Wouldn't have been funny.
Right.
I don't know.
No, French just works.
French
Some
works.
things work. I guess we had talked about this in the past. Some things work because we're so used to them working.
Right.
And you can't right now. You can't substitute. We went through this whole thing, not to bring it up again, but we went through this whole thing with the 111 thing way back. Not during 111. Like we talked about what number would work there,
Right.
and we came to the point that no other number works there.
Yeah.
It's just the syllables and how it comes out,
And then
of
also
course,
where
what
it
you-
is in reference to your actual temperature.
It's like way,
'Cause
but you're dead.
106.
Yeah, you're dead. 111, you're dead.
You're
So-
dead. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
But it just worked, and the number worked. And there's certain things that work, and I guess, like I said, we also get used to them.
Yes.
But I think this can't speak French works.
You just said it, and I'm giggling.
Yeah, I know.
Can't speak French.
French.
And then, of course, the great one, the way he delivers it with such
Yeah.
frustration and confusion.
And like again, what you said before, it's coming from Ed,
Coming from Ed.
so that even makes it better.
Makes it
You can't put stupid things down like I can't speak French.
So you got can't speak French.
Okay.
Then we have picture him in a French Foreign Legion uniform. That's another one.
Another French reference.
Which he's laughing at it, and
Yeah.
it's not an actual punchline, but it was actually a punchline.
Yeah.
But it was the funny part afterwards was Ralph reacting to it, but it was still funny. Like what are you laughing at? I'm just picturing you in a French Foreign Legion uniform. Funny. Again.
Good picturing
French.
Ralph also. Like we went through that thing with Ralph as Billy the Kid.
Yeah,
Ralph in a French Foreign
Foreign
Legion uniform would be
that
just-
would be
just-
very
just
very funny. That would be very funny. So that's another one.
Yep.
So then we have the streets of Paris.
Here we go.
Pierre-Francois Delabriowski. He could have been, Delabriowski. I mean, it's funny because you could have said he designed the streets of Poland.
The sewers
of
Paris.
Poland.
Yeah, right.
Because it's kind of a Polish,
Well,
Eastern European
the way
name.
he made it.
Right.
Well, we discussed that time when I thought it was supposed to be Pierre-Francois Delabrioche.
Oh, Delabrioche.
That's what I thought it would
Okay.
have been. I think that Art Carney, when he read the
Described
script,
the
described it as Brioski,
which
and they just left it.
Yeah.
They probably just said, like, go with that.
So it's Pierre-Francois Delabriowski.
Brioski.
Right. So you have that.
Which also, Brioski at the time was like an Alka-Seltzer.
Yes,
which
that's
is
right.
an Italian word.
Yes, that's
Brioski.
right.
Brioski,
Brioski,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Italian.
So So I don't know, and we're not sure if there are any other references to France, but just those right there.
Captain of the Ile-de-France.
Captain of the Ile-de-France. That's right. That's right. I will tell you right now, and this is a little bit of a side bar, the way he delivers that line is one of my favorite things at Art Carney. Deliver the Ile-de-France, and it's leaving in 20 minutes. The way he does it with his hands.
Tell him you got a new job.
It's a new job.
The captain of the Ile-de-France.
How'd you get the job?
You're like,
what, you put a resume in?
They didn't have a little at the paper. That's how I got to look in the Daily News.
But yeah, there's another one.
Yeah.
The Ile-de-France. So you have all of these French things, and we're obviously guessing that the writers thought that there was something.
There's something funny about the French stuff.
Something funny about the French. You know, like even when you do. If you try to pretend you're doing a French accent, what do we all do? We all go, oui, and ho-ho. Yeah. It just sounds stupid, and it sounds funny.
Right, yep.
Ho-ho. Like, what is ho-ho? Yeah. But whenever you think of French, you go, ho-ho.
Yeah.
So, if there's any more, obviously...
These guys are going to have to come. You guys are going to have to come up with it, but this is off the top of our head. We didn't really prepare this.
We did not prepare this.
So
we came up with this here.
And we know how that works.
Now, we have Shakespeare.
Shakespeare
from Ed Norton.
Joe and myself, when Ed's describing, like, that's the $99,000 answer, right?
Right.
With the 3 times a man wants a blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
The immortal, he says, the immortal bard Shakespeare. Now, years ago, when I was first watching The Honeymooners, I always thought he's saying the immortal Bob Shakespeare. I'm saying, wait a minute, his name's William.
Me too.
Where does Bob come up?
Right, if he would have said Bill Shakespeare,
that
would have been funny because you're simplifying his name.
To Billy,
Billy Shakespeare, which would be kind of funny.
That would be funny.
That would be funny.
But then I figured out, wait a minute, Shakespeare was known as the Bard, B-A-R-D, of Avon. Okay, so Norton with the Brooklyn accent says the immortal Bod. Which sounds like Bob, I guess, sounded like Bob to me.
To me, too.
So
Absolutely.
He's saying the immortal Bod Shakespeare.
Right.
So that's the Shakespeare reference there. And it's really nothing. It's,
Yeah. When he's communing with his thoughts.
Tender with his wife. And when he's in the isolation booth, the 99 down. Okay.
Which is a funny
It is
line.
funny, because it's the Shakespeare. Now, here's a good one. Again, we'll go back to Pierre-Francois Delabriowski.
Okay.
When he comes in with his costume on, and Ralph's looking at him like he's a nut,
Right.
And he says to him, Norton says, "Do I detect the green-eyed monster?"
Right.
All right, green-eyed monster.
We know that means you're jealous.
No, I figured out it meant you're jealous when I looked it up. I found out what it was from. It's from Othello, another Shakespeare play. So we're like saying, wait a minute. Where's this guy from Brooklyn coming up with the Shakespeare references?
Exactly.
Here's a guy who majored in arithmetic in school.
In vocational school.
And took shorthand under the GI Bill. Typing under the GI Bill. So here it is, and the green-eyed monster in the play Othello represents jealousy.
Correct.
And that's what he's saying to Ralph. What, are you jealous of my costume?
See, I knew green-eyed monster meant jealous, but I did not know he took that green-eyed monster from
Othello, and it means in the play talking of jealousy.
Right.
So that's what ties in again. And Ralph says, that's going to look like a piece of French cheesecloth.
Right, which is
so
fun.
Another French and Shakespeare together. And then we have the Julius Caesar.
Yes.
A2.
And
he said to Alice, right?
He said it to
A2,
Alice, yeah.
You too, Alice? Then he says, A2, then he says, you too. I think he says, A2.
A2.
You too, Alice?
A2, Alice?
Yeah.
Right.
And you too, which that's what it means.
Yeah.
A2. It's A2 Brute.
Right.
And you too, Brutus,
Yeah, which is like, wait a minute. Why are you speaking Latin?
And quoting Shakespeare.
And he's quoting
Shakespeare
again. It's funny.
This is Ed Norton. And it's coming from Ed Norton.
Coming from Ed Norton.
Which
I think what makes it funnier.
Of course.
Because it's coming from someplace where it should
not
be
come
from.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
It's great. I love it. There's a
So,
French Shakespearean thing going on with
here.
Edward Norton.
Now, if you guys out there can come up with a couple more, like I said, me and Joe, we just did this off the top of our heads, and we were unprepared.
I'll put out a post.
So you can put it out there.
I'm going to put out a post Saturday morning. Yeah. Saturday morning, I'm going to put out a post that I'm going to have them ask, a couple of things that we're looking for, if they can think of any more of that. And also the other thing that we were discussing. I have to look in my notes because I can't think of it right now. It happened 8 minutes ago, and I can't think of it now.
It's a distant past.
It's unbelievable. Okay. This is interesting. Now, this came from our full-grown nut pal, Mark Strouch. Mark. And he was talking about where is it? Here we go. He was talking about we're trying to get Pete Crescenti.
Yes.
We're going to have him.
We're going to have him on.
Yep, maybe our next time. And we're going to do an on the phone interview with him, and we'll either put it as a separate episode or we'll put it at the end.
At the end, that's what we're throwing around right now. We're going to do our regular show, then we're going to add the interview with Pete, and we're going to maybe splice them together or separate them. So you guys could do whatever you want. You can listen to the whole thing through, or maybe you want to save it for another time,
because it'll make the episode a little
it'll make it longer, and if we have our 3-week hiatus between each one, maybe let's throw Pete in there.
Throw Pete in there. So he's talking
Bill
about
and George,
and Pete and Frank and Bill and George. Mark was talking about the book that Pete had written 35 years ago, and Pete is he's one of the original members of Ralph.
Well, he's the creator of Ralph.
Creator of Ralph. I think he was. I think there was two guys.
Yeah, him and a buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Mark, talking about the book, he said, according to the book, the Sleepwalker episode was originally going to be Ralph going to Detroit with an executive from the bus company to look at new buses for the company. But due to a number of different set changes that it would take, the script was changed to what we know now for many years. How do you go from him going to Detroit to look at buses to Ed becoming a sleepwalker? That is a weird,
like no connection.
Right.
There's zero connection.
I know when these scripts start,
Yeah.
they do rewrites and rewrites and rewrites, and then it becomes something much, much different.
Right.
But you see where it comes from. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You see.
You can see a starting point,
Yeah.
and maybe it switches right in the middle or
Right.
a quarter of the way down, and
Yeah.
they just go in a new direction. This has zero
Yeah.
compatibility.
It's like somebody got plastic surgery and they look nothing like the person now.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you got the nose cut down a little bit. I can still recognize you. Look different.
Yeah.
This is like plastic, a
yeah.
new face,
Yeah.
a complete new face. It doesn't make any sense.
And what makes less sense is Ralph going to Detroit with the executive to pick out buses.
That's so funny.
He's there 15 years.
15 years.
Let's try to be the assistant traffic manager, and he can't even get that. And they're going to pick him to go out there. Those transmissions are bad. Transmissions are bad. Yeah, I got to say, those transmissions are bad.
Oh, my God.
What boss?
So
what Dan?
funny.
Dusty in that hall.
Thank you.
There you go. Wait for that as Joe takes a sip. Okay.
Oh, my God. It's so funny, And, they came up with that. And I'm wondering, what that episode would have looked like.
You talk about putting a difficult episode on the air. How did they do that?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it would have been a lot of office stuff and
maybe they would show them looking like they were in a
garage or something, or would have
because you can't show a bus.
No, really, not on that small stage.
I mean, what are you going to do? Have a cardboard cutout of a bus?
You're lucky they got Freddie Muller's car on stage. But
yeah, really.
And you would probably just think it would be like a lot of office stuff. Ralph's discussing things with engineers and making a stupid decision and whatever. But I could see that being difficult.
Very boring episode.
Wait.
I mean,
I wonder what the executive he would have went out with. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if it
would
would
have
have
Marshall or Harper or the other guy.
I'm thinking the vice president.
Vice president?
him, her.
Oh,
Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Douglas. Oh,
would have been great.
Oh,
I want you to
God.
meet my friend Ralph Cramden. He is, she is, him,
he, she.
her is a very vital part of the organization. Vital part of the organization. Yeah, that would have been a very difficult, and that's what he said. There was going to be way too many backgrounds or stage.
And then when you think about it, where did the other characters come in?
Yeah,
Where does Ed and Alice come in? Because you figure Trixie's not in all of them.
Right.
It's okay. You could always leave her out.
right.
But Ed and Alice are so integral.
Of course.
Part of each episode. Like, what do you do with them?
Yeah, like unless
Does
there's
Norton-
something
does-
going on back at home.
Does Norton tag
Is,
along?
is
or is
Norton sleepwalking while Ralph's away?
or maybe they never go away. Maybe it's all the buildup of going away.
Okay,
And they could build up an episode of him just doing Ralph Cramden stupid things.
Right.
That's just buying bags throughout the out the hotel window.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know, but that is interesting how they went from doing that and it ended up being the
Sleepwalker.
If that turned into unconventional behavior, then I would understand because they're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. And speaking of unconventional behavior, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it this this intro because we got it from one of our pals. And where is it? I can't even. Wait a minute.
I think I know which one you're going to use.
Yeah, it's no one and done. Many faces. Revisited. I can't even think of what it's called. What is the new one with the? Oh, here's an item.
Here's
right?
an item. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I didn't want to say it. If I think that's
I couldn't even think. That's how my brain area. Here it is. Okay, we're gonna do this.
You need a vacation. Contact Keys to the Caribbean.
Keys to the Caribbean travel. Here we go.
The Honeymooners podcast now presents Here's an Item. This is where we have one of our lusciously lovely listeners present some material for this prestigious, proficient program. Oh dear, I've dribbled all over myself. And now, without any more ado,
Here's an item.
And what's funny, I totally forgot. Here's an item is going to be for the last one. This was my thing, but who cares? We get to hear Dave Ringer, and we'll do it again when we do the second Here's an Item.
That's okay.
This was me. I was watching Unconventional Behavior, and they're on the train just getting in.
Yes.
And Ralph says it's upper 3 and lower 3.
Okay. They got their berth.
Right, yeah. Is that what they
they're
called it?
They're berth 3. Yeah, berth. They're berth 3.
Right.
You got an upper and a lower.
Right.
So upper 3, there's berth 3. So upper, lower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Norton walks up with the mask on.
Right.
Ralph turns around, screams, you're trying to give me a heart attack or something. But I noticed something. Right at the time that he screams, Norton says something to him. And it sounds like he's trying to say something. Like, it's not like, hey, Ralph. Yeah. It sounds like he's about to say something, and you can hear him saying something over Ralph's scream, but I don't think you can hear it. But I wanted to play it.
Yeah, because it's muddled by the mask.
It's muddled by the mask, and it's also muddled by his
screaming, yeah.
So I wanted to play it and see if anybody could figure out. And then, of course, you play along at home and check it out with your own YouTube or whatever. Give me some traveling music. All aboard!
Raccoon song.
Yep.
I found it. It's upper 3 and lower 3.
Joe, stop right there, please.
I know what you're going to say.
What are they laughing at?
Again.
Joe's got the screen in front of him. I don't. So.
Again, it's him walking in with the raccoon hat and the garb. That's it.
That's it. And that's what they're laughing at.
That.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
they're laughing at that.
That's like, what are they laughing at?
Because
what
he's
laughing
wearing
at?
that stupid.
What am I laughing at?
Forgot what I was
laughing at.
They're laughing at the stupid.
Oh, that's okay. That's all it is. All right.
That's all it is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's just I guess for them, because they didn't, look, they're probably the first time they're seeing
they're seeing that. They're studio audience. It's not, not like us. They haven't watched it 8,000 times.
Exactly. And they might have only seen him in it once.
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
All
right.
You're on here.
Right down here.
Put it up a little bit. Listen. You hear that?
Ooh, yeah.
Something about something C.
Seeing.
I thought he said C.
Yeah, it sounded like he said C.
Right. Like, did you see or have you? I don't know, but he's trying to say something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was just wondering.
And it's just not, he's not like garbling something just for the fact of, okay, just say something here because, Ralph's going to just turn around and,
Right.
Being
like,
shocked.
hey, what's going on, Ralph?
Yeah.
It sounds like he was trying to say something.
Yep.
And I can't understand what he says. But again, it's one of those things that we just started noticing now after, because we all watch the show differently.
Of course.
Since the podcast. But I'll do it again one more time. Tell me if anybody can figure this out.
Figure it out, yeah. I hear seeing or seeing.
Right?
That's all I'm making
Yeah.
out.
Like, did you know what I mean? Like, did you see?
Is he talking about, did you see Alice and Trixie?
Maybe.
Because that's what they're looking for. They couldn't find them.
Right, because right afterwards, I don't think it's not like Ralph, how like when Ralph would jump on, jump the line a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they would say it again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I don't think so
No,
because he just says, "What, are you trying to give me a heart attack or something?"
Yeah.
And look, let me see.
What is the matter with you? What? You trying to give me a heart attack or something? Running in here wearing that mask?
Having a little fun, that's all. I want to try it out. See how it works.
No, nothing. Nope.
Nothing. No
So I
reference
was
to
just
anything.
So I was just curious,
Yeah.
like, what was he
saying?
trying to say? And he was saying something.
Well, it's like the one we did with the thermometer in his mouth. The
Yeah.
ice box. That was...
Get
away from the ice box.
Yeah, like what is that? And I don't know.
Maybe somebody has some kind of special equipment at home where they could do something. I don't know.
You know what? Nothing. I would be not surprised if there would be some lunatic who we would love dearly if they could figure out what he was trying to say.
You know, they were also lucky that there was nobody in upper 3 and lower 3 because they're on the wrong train.
Oh, that's right.
You didn't realize it. Because their ticket said upper 3 and lower 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they're not even on the right train.
On the wrong train.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious. What a great observation. I should play that.
Play Louis' observation.
I should play Louis' observation.
Just plug this in after.
Wow, that is a great little thought process.
Yeah.
It's upper 3 and lower 3.
That's open.
And they're on the wrong
train.
friggin' train. That's so funny. That is hilarious. Wow. All right, what are we going to do now? We are going to do, this is another, here's an item. And this one is from Anthony Wienko.
Right.
And so Anthony emailed us. He said, so I was watching this episode today, and there's a line that I always wondered about. When Ralph tells Ed he doesn't want to have anything to do with him, he says, you might as well get this through your head, Norton. I'm not going to bowl with you anymore. I'm not going to play pool with you anymore. I'm not going to play punch bowl with you.
Bowl.
Punch bowl?
Ball.
A punch bowl, or is he saying punch ball? He is saying punch ball. Is punch ball a game they used to play in Brooklyn, or is it punch ball? It seems a little strange for two adult men to play this. I used to play it in gym in grade school. Which is it, or is it a flub? Just wondering.
Right.
It's punch ball.
Punch ball, while I'm looking at it, there's a game we used to play. It's a city game.
Right.
Now, we played it in the street. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's back in, I guess it was the 60s, before you had to move into the playground because too many cars on the street.
Right.
And you just play. We used to call it box ball because the premise of the game is two teams. You play in baseball.
Basically, you're playing baseball.
It's a baseball rule. You play within the box.
All right, everybody. Sounds like there was a little glitch there because there was something happened with the computer and it stopped recording. And
give Walt Disney a call tomorrow morning.
So we were talking about the difference between punch ball and
tether
ball
or tether ball and box ball.
And box ball, yeah.
I was in the midst of explaining box. Just real quick, the box ball thing. 2 teams. We played in the street, and then we had to move it into the playground. You play under rules of baseball. The object is to keep the ball in the box on the ground. You hit the ball.
And if you can get it past the players, right.
Yeah,
but you can't hit it over their heads.
You can't hit it over their heads. It's got to be on the ground.
Yep.
And you have a pitcher, throws the ball in, a pinky, throws the ball in, one bounce to you. You hit it with your fist. Not an open hand. That's out. If you hit it with open hand, you're out. With your fist. That's the punch part of the ball. The punch ball part of the game, I guess. So that's why they called it punch ball. We called it box ball because we played within the box.
Right.
So
probably the same game.
Same game.
Would be funny either way to see them playing the one in the
great.
Playground or the one in the street.
Yeah,
it would be kind of funny to see them playing either one of those. So
I can imagine Norton pitching, we used to call it putting stuff on it. You'd spin it, and you'd get the ball to move, and then you'd yell, no stuff, no stuff.
Right,
and of course, Norton would have stuff.
Of course.
And Ralph would be up, not be able to hit the ball.
Yes.
And it was, one strike, you're out, too. If you missed it, you're out.
Oh, really?
One strike.
One strike and you're out.
One strike and you're out.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now, the last thing we want to finish up with, and I just need to find this. Okay, this is from Mike Nangle, a soon-to-be fraternity member for sure. He gives me, he definitely emails us a lot, gives us a lot of stuff, chimes in all the time.
He's on the rise.
Okay. And this would also be, here's an item. Just want to hear it again.
Of course.
I mean, do you really want
to hear that? We're running out of space.
Yeah, really.
We'll have to bring us back to Radio Shack in the morning. We could find one here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know. I don't know where it is. What's that sound? Get someone. But yeah, you heard the here's an item.
Yeah.
I'm a little discombobulated because we had to do some erasing of stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, here it is. And we'll do it again. All right.
The Honeymooners podcast now presents.
It was worth it.
Here's
worth it.
an item. This is where we have one of our lusciously lovely listeners present some material for this prestigious, proficient program. Oh dear, I've dribbled all over myself. And now, without any more ado,
Here's an item.
Here's an item. All right. Now, this message, when we read the message, what he's talking about, but we found something else that we never noticed.
Yeah. Again.
And
Again.
Yeah. So, from Mike. Brother Raccoons, I am watching Worrywart, and I just noticed a sound that I'd never noticed before. In the IRS office, the investigator, Richard Putter, good trivia question, of course, walks over to his desk. As he's about to sit down, there was a weird sound. I thought at first it was the chair being pulled, like against the ground. Yeah. But it doesn't match up. I don't remember this coming up before RX Mike Nangle.
Yep.
So I played it, and
yeah, we hear it.
We hear it. And boy, can we hear it. And you'll see it's right after, and then we'll also play what we noticed.
Yeah.
All right, but tell us if you hear the sound that Mike's talking about, and there's a sound there, for sure.
Mr. Cramden.
Hey there!
Which one of you men is Mr. Cramden?
He's crammed and I'm clean.
Okay. There we go.
Just step over here, Mr. Cramden.
All right. Did you guys hear that? What in God's name was that?
It's the sound you make after you eat like pig's knuckles and sauerkraut.
Because, like I said, you're looking at it and you watch him, and the chair doesn't move.
No.
Because it would sound like a chair.
It's like a chair
scraping against the ground.
Yeah.
But hear it again.
So those days, big heavy metal. There it is.
What?
I can't even think.
I can't think of what it could be, except for
Mr. Puttering. I don't know.
He wasn't puttering out there. I guess. I mean, that is just. First of all, no matter what the sound is, It is so. Once you hear it, it's so loud.
It's loud. Now you're gonna hear this. Now it's gonna be like echoing through your TV in your room, wherever you're watching it.
Here it is. At the very least, somebody blew into like a baritone or something. You know, like somebody grabbed the trombone. Somebody grabbed Ralph's cornet, trying to hit a low note, not a high note. That's a low note. Are you ready? Now, out of all the people that are listening right now, most of them are men.
Yes.
And you're all laughing.
Of course.
And the few women that are listening are saying, you guys are
I don't see anything,
children.
I don't see anything funny about that. Even me with crooked stockings doesn't see anything funny about that.
I have to say, I think Paulette definitely thinks that's funny.
Yeah, of course.
But that is just hilarious.
Now, Joe, there's actually 2 sounds in here.
Yes.
And we're going to go back and play that.
We have to go back and play that.
Joe introduced it. Yeah, Joe.
And now, right when he sits down, because you hear Ralph and you hear Ralph when he says, who's Cramden?
Now that's one of the best humming hummas.
It is one of the best humming hummas
because of the way he ends it off.
Yes,
it goes
and it flutters.
Yeah,
and it's
because it's humming and then at the end. So listen to that ending.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's one of the best hummas ever. Here we go.
Men is Mr. Cramden.
Here we go.
Which one of you men is Mr. Cramden?
So remember that sound. Now remember
that sound. Now, right before you hear this other sound. Listen to this secondary humming right when he's sitting down.
Yep.
Never noticed
Never
it.
heard it before.
Here we go.
Cramden, I'm clean.
Okay. Right here.
You just step over here, Mr. Cramden.
I think I might have heard it, never noticed how funny it is.
Yeah,
never noticed how, like, it's almost like it was in the background.
Yeah, it just didn't,
and then
it didn't matter.
It didn't.
But now it matters.
It really matters, because listen to it. Ready? I gotta just play that again. That is so funny.
Just step over here, Mr. Cramden.
So you get in this.
Oh my God!
In this 15 seconds, here we go. You get.
Which one of you men is Mr. Cramden?
He's Cramden, I'm clean.
And then step up.
You just step over here, Mr. Cramden.
Oh my God! This is the Triple Crown. You have the hilarious Humana, one of the best Humana he's ever done.
In my opinion.
Yep,
because of the ending.
And then you get that sound.
That sound again.
Then you get his second. And then that sound.
The sound.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to play What's That Sound for this sound? You guys can guess. But what a great find. And again, a listener, a pal, comes up with something that we never heard, and then we find something else.
That's amazing.
It's just great.
Here we're thinking, this guy's genius. He found this great thing, and then we find...
Yeah. And I'm sure, look, I know a lot of guys are going to say, yes, I heard that. It. But you never... Yeah, I heard him. But you didn't really... I didn't
appreciate
really
it.
I didn't appreciate it until now.
Until now.
Yep. And we're going to play one more time. Just one more.
111. Which one of you men is Mr. Cramden?
He's Cramden, I'm clean.
You just step over here, Mr. Cramden. Here we are. Ralph Cramden.
The Triple Crown. The Triple Crown, folks. The Triple Crown. All right. All right, we gotta get to the last part of the show. It's Louis' 14th favorite bit of the show, and you know what it is. It moved down 11 spots.
So that's still 14.
Number 23. Yeah. There it is.
Now, Tom, who is our first guest, please?
Herb!
Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer, is our
Comedian from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Joe Conti.
Thank you.
I want to see the expression on your face when you miss it.
Wow, that was very, very uncalled for.
Miss it.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, Joe, before. Got a nasty email from Professor Walter Newman.
Oh, boy, what happened?
I forgot to mention his name last week.
You did.
I did.
You forgot.
I forgot. So, he got a little hot on it, but I just, I calmed him down. I thought, Walt, what can I do for you? He said, send me a bottle of cherry sriracha. So, I had to call the Kingfish.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm sorry, but we're all out.
He figured out something.
Yeah, he figured out something. We didn't mention
Professor Walter Newman. He got, he was a little pissed. But anyway, we got it. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
So
right,
this question's prepared by
Professor Walter Newman.
Okay, you happy, Walt? Okay.
What a big baby.
Yeah, man.
Why don't you get your Walt Disney watch?
Yeah, really.
Beat it.
Jeez. Anyway, okay. Here's the question. It's from the Bill Davis episode, which we all love. Bill Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
now, of course, they go to the boxing matches. What was the name of the boxer that Ralph and Ed saw at the fight at Madison Square Garden? Because remember, Ed goes in to see it. He goes, I'm going to go see the boxer. He was kind enough to give us tickets. What was his name?
It's something. Is it a mix something? Like a.
Ooh, you're close. That was the second part of the question. In case you got the first part real easy. I had a second part.
I am not going to.
I'll give you his initials. SS.
Oh, he's got a nickname.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, you're right. It's a nickname. It's a nickname.
I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it.
No?
Just tell me.
Slugger Simpson.
Slugger Simpson.
Now, I got knocked out in the first round, right?
Got knocked down by the first round, right?
Now, but you said you should have seen him 2 weeks ago over at Ridgewood when he fought
McCluskey.
Ooh, close. That's the guy who owns the building with the fire escape.
That's McCluskey's fire escape, right? Who is it?
McHenry.
I wouldn't have gotten that. Slugger Simpson, I should have gotten.
Well, that's why I had McHenry. I thought if you had gotten it right off the bat,
then you would have.
I would have got you with McHenry.
With McHenry.
But
that's a great question.
Good question.
Another good question by Louie.
Well, Walter Newman.
Yeah.
The professor.
Walter Newman.
Whatever the professor.
Oh, wow. That was
he's
good.
Happy. He's got his hot sauce and he's happy.
That's good. That is very good. All right. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to, let me see. All right. Who do we thank? We're going to thank our sponsor, SilkCityHotSauce.com. Go get yourself some great hot sauce. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and then put RX in the coupon code when you're checking out, and you get 15% percentage off of your order, and you don't get a free bottle of cherry sriracha.
No,
and also our new sponsor, KeysToTheCaribbeanTravel.com. That is my lovely wife. If you want to get a nice, a great deal on all of your vacation needs, whether you're going to go to Fred's Landing or point your car towards Mexico.
Or go to Tibet.
If you don't want to do all that, I don't even know my flight number. I don't know what flight we're going. I don't know the airline we're going. I know nothing. She does all of it, and she loves it, and she's great at it. So she is now a travel agent. So if you want, you could go and you could give her some information, and she will take care of you, and it won't cost you a cent. Won't cost you a dollar. No commission. Exactly.
The triple cost.
The triple cost you.
Oh, you got to clear yourself up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. The triple cost you.
It's like we have to cover for cherry sriracha.
But yes, no commission.
We have to warn people.
She will do all the work for you, and you don't pay her. That's how I should say it. So, what else? And also, all of you guys, thank you for all who are part of the fraternity, all of you who listen, emails, comment on Facebook, all of you full-grown nuts, fraternity members, and future fraternity members.
Yeah.
Share episodes of our YouTube videos or some of our episodes with your friends on social media, or share directly with your pals in the sewer or at the Home Depot, or at the Home Depot. The bus depot. Oh, God. We've been here too long. I got to get out of here. And if you want to follow me on all my social media platforms, it's Joe Conti Comic, and it's Conti with an E. And I think that's it. And for me and Lou, episode 112 in the books. And for me and Lou, we say we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum. Night all.
Goodbye, Mr. Crandon. I'll be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you, Irving Kale and Sammy Fain, 1938.
Oh, Mr. Crandon, it's all over now.
It's all over now. Basie Simon, 1927.
No, good night, Mr. Crandon.
Good night. There were two songs, Good Night. It was Good Night, Irene, written by Lomax and Ledbetter. Good Night, Sweetheart, written by Rudy Valley and Ray Noble. RX.
I'm going home. Oh.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.